recording, they can drop it. If not, then I take your consent for this recording. Okay.
Sir, will you spotlight your screen?
Well, I can spotlight my screen. Just a sec, just a sec. Where is it to spotlight? I think technically it should come on the host, but a spotlight for everyone. Okay. Okay. Can you guys see me? I have just spotlighted myself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you're visible enough.
Good,
Yes, sir.
great, great, great. Okay. So let me just start also with sharing for that matter. And let me know when you can see my screen. Screen one, and let me share. And let me start. So do you guys see my screen right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Is it good enough for you guys to go like this, or you want me to start with your, the presentation mode? Is this good?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is good.
So again, good morning, everyone. This side, your instructor for the day, Ashish Uniyal. I will give you some brief about myself, and about every 2 to 3 slides, we will kind of stop with little bit kind of interactive session or Q&A. So that if there is anything related, any kind of concerns, questions, doubts you guys have, we can quickly touch base on this based on the topics which you have covered. So for now, I think let me just introduce you myself. As I said, my name is Ashish Uniyal. Over 20 years of total working experience, which includes around 15 plus into IT and network infrastructure. In my day job, I am working with AT&T as a manager for lead engineering team. I have been changing different roles, so I get a real work time environment when I'm delivering any session. Okay. I'm here to help anybody to get their feet into the IT world, starting with mastering the networking. And myself and the SIEM expert, what we're trying to bring to you is that a real time on job knowledge which is transferred to you. It is not going to be kind of session which generally you guys are doing, like when we see the online recorded videos and all those things. My idea is to give you the insight what actually is happening when we actually apply this concept in real time work, because that's what I'm doing in my day job. Okay. In the course, the idea is to make sure, so see, I'll tell you, the idea is to make sure anybody who is either from a IT background or a non-IT background, if they want to get into IT world, my responsibility and my actually vision for that matter, or a mission for that matter, is that I help you guys, I help those guys who are actually looking for it. So that's how brief introduction about me, and that's how this course is gonna be. We're gonna deep dive into networking. Okay, we will cover a lot of stuff inside of networking. There could be like VLAN, routing, switching, devices, security, some programmability, basically all those things that we're gonna touch base later. But today this class is not majorly going about it. This is all about how the CCNA can really help you to take that leap forward into the IT world. And from credential point of view, which is most relevant to you guys, I am a CCI Security Emirates. So back in 2011, I completed my CCI Security, certification, and I kept it for like 10, 11 years. After that, you become Emirates. So I am a CCI Emirates. And then I have also done, Juniper certified network administration course, basically JNCIA they call it, or Junos, because that was a requirement for a job. Technically, once you are CCI, you don't really need GNCI, but since it is a requirement for my job, I had to do it. I am also ITIL certified foundation level, okay? Because in the IT world, you have to keep on increasing your, weightage and your, kind of, weight, and this is how you do it basically. So the certifications provide you credentials. And it provides, you a visibility in your work environment. So that is the reason why everybody in the IT world is behind certifications. Okay. So far, so good.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, great. Let me just go forward for a second. Let me bring this chat session here also, just in case anybody has, I can see. So going to next one, as I said, correct? Little brief, as I said, CCI security, Emirates, CCI itself is one of the toughest certification in words. I remember still the passing percentage from the people who attempt it is around, I think 0.9 or 0.8. Of late, recently, a lot of people started passing because, in a way, India, and which I'm proud of it, we cracked the course for a lot of, IT certifications. And a lot of people like Sula, a lot of people, a lot of companies like, SIEMXPERT, they have helped the crowd, the young generation to get into, those kind of, difficult certification, get their hands into and get those knowledge. But still, CCI is still considered kind of PhD when it comes about the networking. Okay. As I said, I work as an manager for lead engineering team. I myself also does the lead engineering job, which is totally into networks, network infrastructures, cloud security, and different part of it. I am also masters in AI and ML basically in 2025, this is January last month, like last January, I have completed my masters. I personally felt that, in this world, as I said, in the IT, you need to keep on upgrading yourself. So the masters was required for me, although I am an MBA already, but I think, a master's into AI ML was really required. So I did it, and I'll try to also touch base on it, how this can help you guys or how this can help the mentees which I'm kind of mentoring in future. Okay. And overall, I have actually mentored 100% plus or maybe more than that professionals on my personal level. So far I have not done anything on a professional or a business scale. I personally feel like so far that if at a time I can really help somebody to gain or do a change in their life, I can do that. So this is what my thing is. I'll even show you the real time results which we have got. So that's how about me, and we'll go forward. And my vision, I'll keep it very simple. I think I was discussing about this with Sulabh, and we discussed like why I want to now teach, correct? Like what is the reason? And personally I feel, and this is totally personal to me, many people might disagree or agree, it's up to them, but I personally feel after working for 20 years, after navigating everything in my life, and after achieving certain milestone in my life, this is my utmost responsibility to give back to the society. And this is my utmost responsibility to help India develop. And India will only develop if we have a young generation like you, uh, you know basically making changes in their life. It could be professionally, financially, at an emotional level, all those things. So that's what my overall why into it. So that's what my vision is, like empower diverse personal from any background. And when I say any background, because I mean it, I am a hotelier, I was a hotelier. I'll also give you the brief about it. So I can really help you guys to navigate from those paths. And if you are already in IT, then I can really help you to shine further. That's what I can do. As I said, machine is providing you guys, hands-on mastery on the concept which I am going to cover. And again, my passion is I share success stories. I love sharing the success stories, and I love helping people to build their success stories. That's what I personally feel is my passion is. I love going to the people, talking to them, understanding them, and helping them as much as I can. As long as they are willing and they are, they are able to give that trace pass. Yeah. And as I said, my wife, 20 plus years, I have been barely passing school. I am from a generation which is from, passed out from UP board, which was considered to be one of the toughest board, hardly barely passed out my 10th, 12th. But after that, when things started changing, I think I started shining myself. So yeah, that's what I understand. A lot of people, how they are going through in their life and how can I really help them. I'm sorry. Hello, excuse me. Can you mute yourself, please? Just a sec, or let me mute everybody. Hello? Yeah, okay. Consider it muted. Okay, guys, you are still with me, correct, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's go next quickly. Now, I think I'm going to touch base this slide, but before that, I'm going to touch base this to you. I'm just going to give you a little more, brief about me. Well, before I came to the IT, you just knew about me, IT. So, as I said, back in around 1998. Hello, excuse me, who's talking? Just a sec. I have to mute everybody again. Mahima, are you there by any chance? Okay, I think stop.
She's not there, so you can do one thing, you can mute all, and if anybody has questions, so they can raise their hands.
I did not want to actually do it because it is who's talking. They can be muted, but anyways, let me just because actually I have to go back to the. Okay. So guys, yeah, I was talking about very barely passing from 10th and 12th, hardly and then when by the time my 12th came, I started going away from those fear which my family and society has set up for everybody of us. Correct? Like you need to really pass your 10th, you need to really do this and that, and then that kind of created a lot of pressure. I could not really do well in my 10th and 12th, but then again I have to just go back. Excuse me. Stop sharing. Okay, I need to go and mute everybody. Okay, mute all.
There are a lot.
Yes. I have muted everyone. Muted everyone. If any question, please chat. Okay. Great. Now that's much better. Sometime we have to do this. Okay, sharing bit back. Okay. Now the sharing is back, correct? We are where we were. So as I said, correct, because we all are built with that pressure from society. I was the one of them, barely passed out my 10th and 12th. And then by the time I started, going to graduation, I realized that things are not that, you know, that tough or, the environment is not that unsafe or fearful that, we cannot really do well. And I started doing pretty well after my graduation. And then, my short story, because I'm elder in my family, we all belong to that middle class, rate race, and then I thought like I need to take responsibility off from my father's soldier, and I need to kind of do something. I started taking the hotel job because that was the closest one, and then going into the hotel, working there for 1.5 year, I realized this is not meant for me. I switched back to something called fast food chain. I was a manager in McDonald's, and then from McDonald's I again realized again this is not for me, and I switched to other travel tourism job, and from there I switched to, so my father was a banker, so I thought, okay, why not try banking? And back in like 2007 I joined HDFC Bank. I was working as an assistant manager there. That was a core, like my operation thing. So till then there was no IT in my life. So then when I was working in HDFC Bank, I was a teller, and I'll tell you one funny story. I used to see everybody's salary, and I realized that a lot of people who are less, younger than me, they are getting more salary than me. And I asked them that, and that's what I said. Correct. I love to talk and interact with people. I personally feel it is very important. It gives you a lot of insight, like what you guys are doing, how anybody's kind of successing in their life and all those things. So what I did is actually I asked him, and they told that they have done CCNA, and I said, okay, if there is any course as such, I can really do it. But then like myself and my friend, one of my friend, Satish Kothari, we all both decided, let's leave a job, let's go to Bangalore. Bangalore is the Silicon Valley. Let's go and try the best certification out there, which was CCIE. And we started like back in 2009. I came to Bangalore. I started my journey for CCIE, and in 2011, June 28, I got my CCIE certification done. And from there, I started working with AT&T, and the rest is like after the AT&T, as you know, guys, and rest is history for me. Great. So that's how about me. So why we need to, let me just go back again. Hold on. Hope you guys are seeing it. I need to see the participants as well. I need to see the chats as well. Somebody. Okay, great. That's my participant list. And that's my chat list. Okay. And I'm going to go into presenting mode again. We are good, guys, correct? If there is anything, do let me know, like chat. I see. Okay. Do let me know. Okay, great. So that's how about it. Now, why CCNA? So I'll tell you, a lot of people would have a question because I'm sure some of you are already student of SIEMXPERT and Solops, and I think you guys are already kind of aware about IP networking. You might be also aware about a lot of stuff which is happening in cybersecurity world. But I'll tell you, very base thing. One thing I personally feel that, and I'll ask a question. I'll answer the question about the CCI and CCNA, all those things. But I think let me just cover this slide quickly. So I personally feel that CCNA is actually a ticket, a kind of lottery ticket for anybody, whether they are from IT background or non-IT background, to get into the IT. I have personally seen a lot of success stories because I am a manager from 2014 onwards. I became a manager also. I started hiring a lot of people, and I know how the people background is, where they come from, what is a IT top IT company like AT&T or anything around it. They think about it. So I'm telling you, this is a lottery ticket for a lot of people, but maybe they don't understand, or maybe many doesn't understand. Okay, so this is the reason people should also look into this aspect of it. Again, this is not the only thing. There are many other things which people can do, but I feel this is one of the best way to start your career into IT. That's what I personally see. Now, this is all talk, correct? We need some statistics behind it. So I'll tell you honestly, if you have seen that right now, Infosys might be providing maybe 3 lakh rupees or 3.5 lakh rupees as a base package for a fresher, a BTech guy who may be spending anything not less than 10, 15 lakh. If it is a good college like in Bangalore, it goes around 20, 25 lakh. That's what I know about it. Okay. And then they are getting, a salary of this much. Maybe there are some outliers who might do really great, but we are talking about the general pool of it. Then uh, CCNA actually helps people to get better salaries, which is the proven. Any company which generally hires a CCNA, apart from then there is everything in this world. Then people can even hire you for 1 lakh rupees a package. But in general, I'm giving you that they will start anything beyond 5 lakh and above. This is I'm talking about fresher. Okay, anybody who has got experience of 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, they can really go beyond 10 lakh, 12 lakh, 13 lakh. They can, but then there is a change in the mindset. There is a change in the way you guys are doing. You need to do. Okay, so this is about CCNA, why you should take it. Most, number one requested and most repeated, kind of course in terms of, as per the LinkedIn's 2024 data, because LinkedIn provide a lot of, job site, and I have a premier access to it. So I keep on checking this data. Okay. Then again, another thing is salaries, definitely a decent or lucrative salary, I would say. Um, Career foundation. This is very important for anybody to step into IT, whether you are a software engineer, whether you are a SOC engineer, whether you are a penetration tester in future, whether you are, for that matter, a cloud engineer, whether you're a DevOps engineer, you need to understand basic of IP. So IP is whole soul grail of all these things. Okay. Now, whether you learn through a course or whether you learn it yourself, that's all up to you. But that's how the the reality of the world is. Okay. So this is really, really important. So this, if you invest yourself into CCNA, this will definitely boost your opportunity to get the better jobs. If you're already working, to do a shift, a change, from where you are to a better company, to the better roles, to the better salaries. If you are a fresher, then it will definitely will help you out to get you that particular, job, your first job into the IT. Some myths, and again, I'm talking not just from your mentor, I'm talking from real industry expert who is still part of the industry. I'm not teaching you because I've left the industry and all. I'm still part of it. So a lot of myths around it, that you need a degree or a background for it, a computer science for it. You don't need it. I have myself hired, even a diploma holders. Okay, but they were really good at their skill. So, as I said, fact is that approximately 70% CCNA related jobs do not really require a formal computer science degree. Okay. Now, I am going to also prove this fact with two things. Maybe you guys are aware or not, like 3 years back or 4 years back, government of India, uh, you know, come from, again, some people are saying, let me hold it. And let me just ask this question, guys. Are you guys really seeing that my voice is breaking? Is it good for everyone? How Just drop the message, please.
It's good for everyone, I think.
Okay, great.
It's good for me too.
Okay. Then I'm really sorry, Vaibhav. Maybe try again. Okay. So fact is, I think, as I said, you don't need a computer science degree to be a CCNA and to get a job. And this is the reality basically, because I was trying to tell you recently, 3 years back or 4 years back, Government of India has come with a new education policy where they are shifting from authentic, or I would say, like, old legacy system, education system, to a new skill-based education system. And they want to make sure like people are more skilled than the, a degree holder or a certification holder. I'm not saying degrees doesn't hold value. Degree will hold its most value as long as an individual is skilled enough in that particular trade. That's the whole crux of this world is right now, whether it is IT, whether it is your arts, whether it is your science, whether it is anything. Okay. And I'm personally very, very impressed with not everything what Elon Musk says, but at least one thing, that if somebody wants to be rocket scientist, all they need is a book or a topic, and they can start reading and they can really develop or build something which they want. And I personally feel this can really happen. But yeah, we actually underestimate ourselves. Great. So that's about CCNA so far. Let me go to next slide, and then okay, we'll touch it later. Now I'm going to come back to some questions which people have. Hold on, one by one. Okay, what is the difference between, so this is somebody from iPhone 15 Pro. I asked, I would love to have your name, but yeah, whosoever it is, what is the difference between CCNA and CCIE? So CCNA entry level, CCIE expert level. CCNA, I would say, consider it your 12th, and then CCNP consider your graduation, and CCI could be anything around your, not just masters, but more than masters, a PhD. So that's how you can consider it. Okay. I hope I was able to answer your question. Please close the presenting window mode. Please close the presenters window mode. Do you guys want me to close it? Is it okay? Okay, Chinmay had this thing, but let me just see. Raja has a question which says, how hard was CCI as first timer coming from non-IT background? Honestly speaking, I'll tell you two things of it. It was hard, Raja, but I'll tell you, I did not come from any background. With me, there were a lot of people, more than 100 people preparing for CCIE. I think only 20 or 10 passed out the lab. All people failed. A lot of them were from IT. They were already working, but I think they came with a baggage. I came with something, I don't know anything, correct? Like, so as long as you understand power of not knowing anything, I think it opens up your mind, correct? You are kind of, you're more receptive. So for me, everything was in my mind that I need to start learning from everything scratch. I read book, I partnered. Okay. I had, and the power of group is also very important when you're doing education. A lot of people try to do it in isolation. Isolation is great if you're a group study kind of person, but if you part of a group, if you're part of any group, I think it will always help you to do better. I was a part of a group, and where we all started doing, practical labs, teaching to each other, asking questions, making mockery out of each other, that if you're giving wrong answers. So that's how all the part and parcel. It was really tough, but I will see you. Even the IT people found it more tougher than what I had, because I did not have any baggage. So yeah, so that goes to anything, whether you are IT, non-IT guy. If you don't have a baggage, I think you'll be able to grasp the subject. And also it is very important to trust the person who's delivering you, because one shot, again, I'll keep on trying to give you the real-time story. I have a hydrophobia, like I am not, I have a fear of water basically, but I thought of learning swimming. So what I did is I went to a swimming classes, and it was, again, swimmers, like, the teachers are generally what, maybe somebody's like 10th pass out, maybe not, but they're good in swimming, correct? A lot of people was not able to learn from them, because they came with a baggage of mindset that this guy, maybe, he's not like that educated and all. But I realized one thing: as long as he's good in swimming, I'm just going to follow him. And you won't believe, in 4 days I was able to learn 3 or 4 style of swimming, and this is the real fact. I'm not just trying to exaggerate anything, but I'm telling you the fact. Okay. CCN is the foundation. Okay, somebody answered. Okay. From SOC perspective, which certification is important? So I'll tell you, although I'm going to keep it for Sulabh and his classes, but I'll tell you the reality of it. Doesn't matter which certificate is important. Okay. What matters is what you want to achieve. Like, are you going to be a pen tester? Are you going to be a guy who's going to defend it? or you are a guy who wants to be part of a, maybe creating the policies in future. Okay, you want to be part of a compliance. That all depend what is you are looking for. For that, you have to do, your research and figure out, like, which one is more suitable, which one really intrigues you more, like that's how it is. Yes, I am ex-employee of Infosys. Okay, yeah. So I'm sorry if I hurt your feeling, but I'm just giving real data which is happening in the market. I am a degree background, sir. Oh, great. If you have a degree background, that's a great thing. If your degree, your masters, I'm telling you, in totality, if you believe of story of your life, everything will fall in a right way, right steps, and it will help you to grow bigger, basically. Voice is breaking. Okay, that was not the case. It's good when it was CCNA. What is CCNA? Okay, good question. Somebody asked, what is CCNA? So CCNA, this is for Ramya. Ramya, CCNA is Cisco Certified Network Administrator, which says how to get into a networking world long before like a lot of other companies got their own certifications. CCNA was the basic core kind of starting point for everybody to get into the networking or IP networking or network infrastructure world basically. Okay, good. Cisco Certified Network Associate. Okay, so some student. Okay. Do companies prefer experience over certifications? Great question. So I'll answer you this thing in a right way. If you have an experience from the relevant skill which you are having certification, you will be weightage than other. This is Satyam for you. So basically, but let's suppose hypothetically you have a experience from a different background or domain, and then you want to skill pivot to a networking world or a cyber security world. Everything boils down to the skill and knowledge which you have current today, which is like the day you are giving the interview. Everything boils down to the thing how much you are able to sell yourself. So that's how so there are, see, finding a job, not just the skill or degree matters, correct? That particular day is also very much important for you to get get a better offer or get a lucrative offer, all those things. What is the fees for the CCNA certification exam? I think it's anything. I think if I'm not wrong, $250 or $300, but we'll check. Because they keep on upgrading. That's not a big deal, but it is anything between $250 to $300. Okay, what is it? I like resume section. Oh, okay. Okay, great. Don't want to really interrupt the class. We are almost like 30 minutes past. I am going to keep it for a short break of 2 to 3 minutes where I'm going to unmute people. I'm going to stay here. We are not taking any break. It's called a short Pomodoro break. And you can ask a question if you guys have anything. And let me just go to the participant list as well. Okay, so that's a participant list. Mute it. Okay, people are already muted. Anybody? So we are right now. What is the time right now? Let me just check my this thing. 36. Okay, 38, 9:38 again, or 9:39. We're gonna start again. But before that, we go to the next topic. And some actionable items. If anybody wants to ask any particular question, anybody has any pain point, feel free to ask me. If you have anything related, you want to ask personal level, you can do that. If there is something personal you don't want to share in public, you can definitely do it offline. Yes. Okay, Raja said, sorry to bug you with questions, sir, but wanted to know, did you pursue CCNA? No. So the thing is, this CCI, the beauty of CCI is, okay, I think I should have covered, but since it is not about CCI. So CCI, guys, anybody, the CCI is the only certificate which you don't need to complete a CCNA, CCNP or anything. It does not require those pre-mandatory things. But it does require you to have that knowledge, because that's how you'll be tested. You need to be first master in the basics, then you need to master the your elementary, or I would say a graduation level, which is NP, and then you need to really master a topic CCIE, which is like at the master's or a PhD kind of level. I'm just trying to give a layman acronyms for you guys just to keep it simple. And did you had any working experience? No, I did not have any working experience into IT before that. But again, as I said, lot of people, I personally believe, if you want to write your story, you can do anything from anywhere. And I am personally a output of that particular, ideology. So yeah, CompTIA plus security versus CCNA plus. Okay, so Satyam, let me just tell you one thing. It's not about this versus that, correct? You can even security, see, again, security is top of IP. Okay, so you want to go something like as basic as CCNA, you need to do CompTIA network certificate, Network Plus they call it, I guess. Security Plus is more about giving you the insight about the network security part of it. Okay, correct. Okay, somebody answered how to get the job for fresher. So again, another iPhone user, people have iPhone, pretty good. So you can afford a lot of things in your life, which is great. But yeah, then coming back to this thing, whoever is asked this question, how did how to get a job for a fresher? I'll tell you, you need to be marketable. Before being marketable, you need to make sure that you understand the trade first. Whatever job you want to go, you want to be a shoe designer, you want to know that everything, every aspect of it. Again, you don't need to be master making a shoe which is just only you're making, but you need to know the core concept of how does the shoe is made of. Same in the IT world, you need to really understand how the CCNA work, what is in the CCNA, how to really relate these concept, from theoretical and practical point of view. Okay, and I'll give you the, by the way, brief of how to get a job in terms of this also. Okay, let me keep a check on time, 9:39. So okay, we're gonna stop here. I'm not going to take any other question. What do you look in a candidate, sir, while joining? Okay, all hiring, all those kind of related questions. I'm going to do one thing, Satyam. I'm going to put it, up, at the last in the Q&A section so that it gives opportunity for a lot of people to kind of, ask those questions. Okay. Idea is to give you the perspective of CCNA, correct? How can it really help you, correct? How as a mentor, I can really help you. How SIM expert can really provide you that great understanding where it can really help you in all the aspect, whether you want to be a cybersecurity engineer, whether you want to be a network engineer, whether you want to be an engineer who knows network and then want to pursue their career into cybersecurity. I think so. That's what we are arranging this class for. Okay, great. So coming back to our this thing. So CCNA, how to get started, actionable steps, very practical thing. Uh, you could start utilizing a lot of free resources. Okay, we are not here, or like I'm not here to sell the classes. I'm here to help you that if you need any help, I will be able to hold your hand. I, SIM expert, will be able to hold your hand when you need that, kind of, supporting hand. Otherwise, in this world, everything is available for free. Everything, if you're a somebody who could really believe in themselves and they think they can do well, the only thing which a mentor can do is, or your a coach can do is, they can help you to shorten that time, which is very very critical for anybody, because time is the most precious entity. And this is the reason you need a mentor like me. You need a mentor from SIM expert, or mentor like Sulabh Saxena, who can really help you guys kind of get those things. So basically that's how it is. So again, coming back to this thing, actionable item, utilize free resources, lot of free resources. Best way to do the study, I personally feel, is, look for whatever is more suitable to your eyes, whatever helps you. Whether you're a person who believes in reading, do it. Whether you're a person who believes in doing a lot of video watching, do it. Whether you're a person who believes in a lot of audio thing, watch the podcast. So there are ways one can see fit into themselves, like how they want to do it. Okay. And focus on study plan. So crux of getting a result is not knowing everything, but knowing something which is really, really important to the point. And that can be only done with the guidance from a person who's into that field, who has seen that field, who knows that field. It could be any one of your mentor from, from like person like me, person like anybody outside, anybody, your big brother, your cousin, anybody. But the person who has passion for doing that coaching, who has passion for transforming their life. Otherwise, it just all become gyan, basically, because they'll not be able to relate to you all the time. Okay, dedicated 2 to 3 months, definitely, with the concentrated learning and structure approach to ensure efficient, knowledge and acquisition and retention, basically. So the part of it is, one thing is learning, then acquiring that learning, and then from there retaining it. That's how the core concept of anything, any subject actually goes. Okay, and engaging a very very important, all the technical certificates, all the IT related certificate requires you to do hands-on. If a person is doing hands-on, he will remember from the person who understand core concept from from just the brain perspective or from the perspective that he understand the concept. Because what happens is ultimately there is a science concept which works that more than our brain or more than our memory, which is in our brain, your body has a memory which remembers. So for an example, if you type something, correct, you keep on typing, or if you write something, you keep on writing, it will be eventually built into your body, and it will be eventually built in the memory of your body, and you'll be able to kind of remember. So hands on is very, very important. These three things sums up actionable steps to be a CCNA. Okay. And then again, milestones like learn network fundamentals, practice lab, as I said, study CCNA exam topics, and take practice exam. That's how. So I am trying to keep, guys, you might be thinking, correct, like, why is it so simple? Is it really so simple? But I'm telling you, everything is simple. We are trying to complicate it. Even life is not complicated. It is actually simple. We are trying to complicate it. And yeah, but it is not easy. So there is a difference between complicating and easy. So anything is not like easy, but it's not complicated. Let's not complicate it with, whether I study this, whether I study that, whether this is good, that it good, or whether, this much is enough, or whether I need to really know more, or whether somebody is already experienced, how can I really beat them, all those things, correct? So don't clutter yourself with that thought. Okay. So let's go. Great. So far all the stuff related to CCNA, up to knowing the CCNA, what CCNA is all about, how or what is the value I bring into this one, I have covered. Um, we now have actual items from CCNA topic perspective. What I wanted to do is I wanted to give you a glimpse of two topics to make it easy for you guys. And as I said, uh, so that you understand what is there in CCNA. There's a lot to it. I will also share you like what all we're gonna cover in the CCNA. But today I'm going to touch base only two topics, which is IP networking and the OSI, which is the whole soul foundation of a CCNA, or I would say, which is a whole soul foundation of IT or IP networking or IT infrastructure. Basically, that's how it is all about. Right? Everybody ready? Ready to learn something, more from a subject point of view? Okay, give me thumbs up. Say yes, hi, hello, whatever you want to say. I'm going to just drink a little bit water. You guys can also do it. Water helps you to, you know, keep you dehydrated, and it also provides the oxygen level. I have this 2 liter of water bottle. I try to drink it, 2 bottles in a day to keep myself more hydrated and, you know, get that energy flow and oxygen flow in my brain or nervous system, basically. A glass itself is of 600 ml, so that takes care of a lot of things. Great. So since I got the acknowledgement from some of you, I'm really excited to start and dive into some topics of CCNA. Okay. Okay. So yeah. Somebody put up a laughing emoji, but yeah, trust me, this is a laughing thing. But I'll tell you one thing. I mean, as long as you're laughing on this thing, but few things, keeping it simple helps actually. You have a bigger water glass, you will drink more water. That's the simple concept of life actually. As I said, correct. I'm a firm believer of keeping things simple. And sometimes, these old techniques really help you. Okay, coming back to the IP networking and OSI model, which I want to really give you a basic understanding of it. Okay. So everything, guys, what we are doing today, and with the time, more and more we are going towards the technology, is actually built on IP. Everything, irrespective of field you are, whether you have a cousin or software development, a part of a product company, or part of a service company, you are a student, you are a part of engineering college, anything which we are doing, and with the time more, not earlier, maybe 20, 30 years back, it was not that popular, but now everything is going towards the IP. Okay. And the core concept of this world belongs into how IP networking itself works, and what is the OSI or TCP IP they call it, that model is. Okay. So just a brief about it. I think this model was actually developed by the, like this whole scheme was developed by US Army. I think they were using it in the war long back 1963 somewhere. There was a war. Like those dates are not matter. We are not here for the history classes, but they built it for themselves and then they passed it, for the better of the society. And that's how the concept of IP networking started. Okay. And today, IP networking gives you everything which you want in your life, whether you want to order something, whether you want to go to the hospital, do anything, whether you want to study, whether you want to do, go to a vacation and all. This is what is all is now built on the top of IP networking. Okay. And the IP networking is supported by a model which is called OSI model or TCP IP model, which tells or which dictates how the things will work, how the standards will work. Okay. So in the IP networking few part, which is like IP address, subnet, gateway. I'm just talking from the IP point of view. Okay, for now. IP address. I'm going to touch base it in a very, very simple manner for you guys. I have again capped it. I'm trying to keep it very, very simple for you. So what is an IP address basically? So IP address is like a computer's home address or is like your home address. For an example, you live in house number 2. That is the IP address. Okay, like for an example, gully number 3, like gully number 3 or Bangalore or the rest of Karnataka, Bangalore, Kormangla, lane number 2, and then your home number 1. That whole, including from Karnataka till your home number 1, is a IP address that is unique for you. That is unique for Somit. That is unique for Satyam. That is unique for Arun. That is unique for other anybody for that matter. So that's how it is basically. This is the simplest way to understand an IP is. Okay. I am also trying to give you guys like example. If you see like there is something called, and again don't go what is 192 198. I'm going to even cover everything detail in the course which we'll cover. I'm just going trying to give you the glimpse of how does a IP looks like. Okay, don't just complicate yourself like, oh sir, where does this 192 came from, what is 192, why 192 here, why there is a 185.107. Okay, don't go into this thing, just try to understand it from the very simple point of view that what a IP stands. If you want to, because if you want to learn something, try to relate it from the everyday life. Okay, so yes, coming back to this thing. So IP, like for an example, there is a IP address for somebody, or there is a host, or there is a house number for you guys, which is like 192.168.1.10 example, correct? So then 192.168.1 is it going to be your street, and then 10 is going to be a house number, which is the basically device or the IP on the maybe a Mac you have, correct? Right now joined from iPhone, correct? Right now somebody joining from maybe the mobile Android. Right now I have joined through a Windows, somebody is using the Linux. So those everything is using IP right now. Okay, that is called your address, your home address. That's what the IP is. So everything is about sending from me to you, sending from me to something else, sending from a server to a client. Okay, everything is between this, and then there is a whole story about it, which kind of is not that easy, but not complicated as it's correct. So again, what is the IP you guys know now? What is IPv4? So I think there are, this is the kind of revision version of V4. Long back, I think US Army and these things were doing a little bit different. There were a lot of other things. There was something called uh, I think from if I remember correctly, from Nokia there was something. Macintosh has their own thing. Excuse me, somebody's again talking. Let me mute them. Is it Narayan? Narayan, can you mute yourself? Let me mute everybody. Okay, he's muted now. Okay. So yeah. So okay, again,
Sir,
this
please
is
mute everyone
I have
whenever.
done I've done muted again everyone, but I think yeah. But doesn't allow me to unmute. Like it just shows mute everyone. Maybe ask all to unmute. Okay, keep it like this. Anyways, yeah. So coming back to IPv4, kind of version 4 of a IP thing which we are seeing today, and this is the fourth revision, how the internet protocol work, and mostly widely used protocol for the data communication over the internet. Okay, this is strange. I have muted everyone. Allow partner. Don't allow participant to unmute. Now nobody will be able to unmute. Okay. So yeah, As I said, internet protocol is the most widely used protocol for the data communication over the internet. Okay, anything we do, everything is a data. Okay, like it has a different stream, like you say, sir, there is a voice, there is a video and all those things, but everything eventually a data, basically, that is traveling from one side to another, correct? This is all about making our life easier. If I want to communicate to you, correct, don't look into complicated stuff of what is a company like AT&T is doing, what is a company like Cisco is doing. Everybody in this world is using technology to make human life easy, better, prosperous, and save some time. This is the whole race about this thing. That is the whole core crux of anything. Even the software developments which is happening, even the AI which people are doing, everything is all about making. So, like, take it this way. People like Elon Musk, people like Satya Nadella, people like, Jeff Bezos, anybody, all they are solving one problem is to make human life better, save some time for them. Because whole I think era of human evolution is all about saving time. Everything in a way has been developed to make it easy, to make it available, make it accessible. That's how the whole core concept of any technology so far is. That is about making it easy for us. And then when we made it easy, how to make it safer for us, how to make that environment safer for us. So this is, then there are technicalities on top of it which will come. Okay, so key characteristic of a IP network, okay, which is, I'll say again, this IP addresses are actually owned by IANA, okay, which is called IANA, or Internet Assigned Number Authority. So you consider this way, he is a manufacturer, or they are the manufacturer. Okay, again, I'll give you the layman example. The manufacturer then further have a distributors, which is like regional authority, like Africa has something, Asia has something, and all. Okay, then the distributor has their I would say channel partners, like Airtel has something, like all these telecom. Then it goes to telco owns a lot of IP blocks. Okay, companies own their IP block. But before going there, it is a 32-bit, and I'm talking specifically about IP address for. Okay, it is okay, somebody's iPhone. Okay, again, they are able to do it. Just a sec, let me delete it. Okay, please stop the drawing here. Anyways, I'm going to cover it from here and then clear it later. Okay, 32-bit address, which is 32-bit. Now people will say, sir, what is 32-bit? So simple concept. Every this, there are 4 dots. Before a 4 dot, there is a 8-bit, 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 which is called 32-bit. 8 into 8, 16, 16 into 8, like 26, and 8, like not 26, 24, and then 8 is like your 32. Okay, that's how the overall IP block is, which is 32-bit of address. Okay, why 8? Why not 7? This has a technicality and its own thing about it, own reasoning about it, which we'll cover later. But yeah, 8-bit is the what, and then it is considered as 1 byte. So 8-bit is considered as 1 byte. So basically that's how it is. But you need to just, again, this is all sheer technicality. You don't need to really worry about it. Okay. And then approximately 4.3 billion unique addresses in this world. So if you actually do 2 is power of 32, basically that will come approximately this much address, if you just keep on doing it. And then representation in the dotted decimal notation. This is the way. Now, why dotted? Why this? Simple way. If we write an address, we write, like for an example, house number, then the gully number, lane number, whatever, and then the city, and then the address, and then the pin code. Correct. Why don't we write Bangalore first or Karnataka first and do that? That is the way it is written. That is how it has been started. It's a just simple explanation. We don't need to really complicate it. My idea is to give you more insight of it. Again, please, people, don't draw on the this thing. UI is drawing annotation. Hold on. I need to see where is it. More drawings, description, pause, disable. I think annotation we can use. Okay, yeah, I need to use one. Where is it? Delete. Delete. Where is it? Delete. Okay, oh no, this is not drawing. Clear all drawings. Good. Great. Okay, so coming back to this thing, I was talking about you know, and let me just take about annotation. Okay, correct. So yeah, representation in dotted decimal motions divided into network and host part. So basically, consider it in a way, everything, every address is unique as long as it has your host number. It has your house number basically, okay, or a host IP. That is unique. Anything before that could be your gully number, lane number, XYZ. Okay, that depends upon like how it is built. Okay, so that a person who's coming to your house, somebody who's kind of trying to deliver it to something, they know where exactly to go. But they also know that house number could be common. That dot one could be common for Ashish, for Aaron, for anybody for that matter. Correct. But then the lane numbers tells them to distinguish or differentiate it. Okay, organized into 5 address classes, which is from A to E. We're gonna see that. Okay, so far so good. I am considering it that so far it is so good. So annotation, let me just take it away. Great. Okay, as we have seen already, correct, which is you can see, correct. This is the way it is. IP address 185.107.80.213. Okay, everything is called octet, 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 octet. Everything is the 8-bit, 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 8-bit. Very, very simple thing, correct. Includes everything as a 32-bit, correct. Dot decimal format. Then there is a binary format. Okay, if you see inside of it, 185, I will also give you guys insight about it, how it is driven. But so far, system actually understand. I'm sure everybody of you know your engineering or anything now. By this time, everybody knows that system only understand one language, which is a binary, which is a form of 0 1 0 1. There are signals, correct, which is like 0 1, true false, a concept of true false, 0 1 and 0 1, correct. That's how it is kind of understanding. So anything which is going to read it, it is going to read it in 0 1 format, and then it has to be then further converted into a decimal, a number, or a text, or anything. That then there is a whole mechanism for it. Okay, so yeah, as I said, network versus host portion. Only thing is, for now, understand this area up to 80. Example, hypothetic, is your lane number, gully number. Dot 231 is your home address. Okay, as long as people from 0 to 255, I'm just talking about the last octet. Okay, for an example, not 0, but 0 will be network, but from 1 to 255. Okay, for now you just understand this much. Lives, they will be all living in this one lane, which is 85185.107.1.0. This is the lane. Anybody, there will be then almost like 225 people who will be living in this lane. Postman is going to go there, deliver their stuff as soon as he sees an envelope which has their IP address mentioned on it. If 231 is owned by somebody else, then the lane number will change so that it doesn't become unique. At the system end, at the user end, it is a unique thing. Your house is a unique for you, including your overall address. Okay, it could be duplicate as long as only you just see house number, but no, not really unique when you see everything together. Okay, so you need to see everything in totality, basically. Great. And then there are special address, which is like, host base 01. And as I said, correct, let's not complicate it. Idea is not to complicate it, to make it simple for you. Okay. Anybody who so far feels, sir, this is really tough for me, not able to understand, help me out, drop me one message. We will touch base quickly that doubt here, if there is anything. Or you can say, sir, the class is not exciting. I really not like the way you're delivering. Anything is okay. And again, guys, be open, correct? Like it is always good to be open, because if you are able to understand, convey, if you know, like, how to convey your message, you're going to be great people in your life, wherever you are, wherever, because this is very much important. More than anything, your communication works actually. Okay. Anything? Okay. I am considering it. Everybody's all good. Okay. Great. What is the time here? Let's do a time check. Okay, 10:03. So quickly again, IP addresses. So there are 5 classes of it. Okay. Class A, B, C is all we got to do. All. Thank you, Shashwat. Thank you, Moiz Ali. everything, like you guys gave me that looks good, everything so far. So yeah, I was talking about IP address. IP, and again, tell me one thing, if I'm going little fast, I think I should have checked it earlier, but so far we are half of the classes. If we are going or I'm going too fast, just let me know, sir. Please, slow down. Otherwise, I'm trying to keep myself a little bit on the pace which people can understand. Okay, great. Exactly. Webhub, if you know this, then you know something about IP address. But yeah, if other people don't know it, don't worry. My job will be to make it easy, and then Webhub, it could be, there is more into it, but yes, we'll touch base it. But you're right. Will be configured anywhere on switches or router. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It could be, basically it doesn't. So the network is, yeah, like network is actually defined somewhere. Okay. And then, it generally basically the switch does not have it, but the router or any L3 device will have. There is L3 switches as well. Basically, we'll cover that later. Okay. So normal switch doesn't generally have this network side of it. It will have a host. Okay. So yeah, class A, class B, class C. This is the whole table. You can understand. If you don't want to understand, leave it. Keep it very simple for now. Class A from 1 to 127 is used for large network. That is a simple concept. The companies who have or who want big chunk of IP for them, people who want big chunk of IP for them. For an example, let's suppose BBMP is trying to build one community, correct? And they see that they want to give up, a registered house numbers address to everybody, or like for an example, they want to create a unique identity card for everybody, and that unique identity card is now standard across the India. Then BBMP need to ensure they, you know, they acquire certain numbers which they want to use from, for their this particular locality or for that particular area. And why this is required to block is because then if it is not blocked, if it is not purchased, it can be used by somebody else, correct? So then you need to have, then you need to go to the next availability, whatever it is. So yeah, a class A, which is from 1 to 127, pretty large networks, we use it. Okay, class A, again, first octet is binary, and then which means only first octet is considered network. Anything after that is the host, could be anything, any number of opportunities. It could be like, for an example, 1.0.0.1. Okay, that could be your one IP. It could be then from 1.1.0.1 example. I'm just giving an example. Correct? This could be n number of opportunity from 1 to 127. So basically, last address in this network, last network would be bit would be 127.0.0.0 slash, basically 24, anything around that. So we'll come to that also, like what does slash 24 means, how to consider which all addresses will come and all those things. But so far I'm trying to keep it simple for you guys. Okay. Then class B from 128 to 191. Okay, first bit is, again, start from 10, because that's how the basically the the first bit is start from this 01, which is called 10, not 10 but 10. Okay, that's how they start basically. So 128.0.0 dot till 191.255.255.255 is what the overall range is. Again, use for what? Use for medium size of network, and again, you guys will understand what is network, big large network, what is medium network, what is small network. We'll give you the detail about it. But so far consider like large network, like, companies like catering to their client across the world, they need large network. Companies like catering their clients, maybe particular particular area like Asia, maybe, Asia, Africa, correct? They might be needing medium network, or something like that. And then smaller one is like, some set of people, who are doing within the country and all, correct? Because small is also not that small. It can be further subnetted, and it could be done, through VLSM. There is something called the concept called. We'll touch base on that as well, correct? Class C, again, 192.2.2.2.3, which is again, from 2's to power 21. That's how the host number of network is. Okay. Now you realize one thing, guys. See, when there is a class A, the host is more. When you go to the class B, the host is little lesser. When you go to the class C, the host is again lesser and networks are increasing. Okay, so that is all about what is the use of 127.128. So basically, see, loopback. You're talking about which one? You're talking from the screen, or you're just talking a general question? But again, loopback is generally considered for the use for a particular IP, sometime management address, sometime address which could be kind of access from their side. Again, there are reserved address, correct, which I will tell you again. There are reserved private and then again defines to private and public one. We'll cover based on this one, Ram. All those questions. Actually, I don't want to really complicate this stuff for the people who really don't know anything for now. So yeah, let's stick to this one. And then class D and C, good to know, like multicasting, and class C is like experimental. Multicasting means like it is used for sending data from one device to many, like I'm doing it, correct, I'm delivering this thing. So these app addresses are actually used to do that multicast thing, so that people can learn, maybe a video streaming, maybe maybe an audio call, correct, like that. So that is how the multicast works for the class D. Class E, experimental, which is there. Again, it is good to know, but I'm telling you one thing, it is more important to know what you're going to use it. That is actually, if tomorrow you say, sir, I don't know what is this address class D is used. I only know this is class D is from this to this to this. Okay, or maybe I don't even know. I am only bothered about, sir, for class A, B, and C, and I know everything about it. It will be great for them. Okay. So yeah, going back to the next thing, the concept of dividing into, I'm trying to keep it simple for you guys. So the concept is required, IP addressing is required because the system only understand things in, binary language. So these things will be, converted into binary for the system. Do you really need? So one thing is, when I started CCIE long back, that time we actually need to know all those calculation, need to convert it, do mathematics thing and all. But today it is required to understand it, but you are not going to use it yourself. You know, yeah, Samsung multicasting. So very simple concept. Again, very quickly touch base, from one to many is a multicast. That's how it is. Like anycast, unicast, multicast, broadcast, correct? One to many or some set, not many, but one to some certain group of people is a multicast, correct? One to everybody is a broadcast, correct? One to one is a basically a unicast, correct? One to one particular thing only, some particular stuff is a anycast, basically. That's how the unicast, anycast, multicast concept is. Pretty simple, Again, let's not complicate it. Let's understand what is really, really required for you to, do it. Okay. Lenovo, somebody from Lenovo asked, explain the host and the client details. Okay, great. This question we can, touch. So we'll come back here. Okay. So guys, if I say again, we're going to touch base. See, as I said, correct, the host and the client, basically. Host and the client is same thing. It is network and the host here. Okay. Anybody who asks from Lenovo side, it's not host and the client. It is actually the network and the host slash client. So client is your end machine, correct? Okay. Why? With this, you can check if there is any issue with your PC LAN and okay, forget about it. So basically, it is not, client and the host is not two different thing. Client is considered a end user, okay? Anything or something which is a recipient of something, or something which is the originator of information. He is the host or a client or a node. There are multiple things. You don't need to really complicate it, or a computer or anything for that, correct? And then there is a network part of it. So if I say, I was giving you analogy, correct? If I say that this is a network, which is, because this is a slash 24, I'm just saying you, correct? This is a slash 24, sorry, yeah, slash 24, which is 8 into 8 into 8, which is not into 8 plus 8 plus 8, which is like basically 8 into 3, which is 24. So basically till the first octet, that is going to be your network part of it. Means this is the lane number which has these many houses, these many IP addresses. That depends. That will be, since it is 24, we are taking example, it will be 255 basically overall, correct? So then it will be further, at a host level will be considered like 185.107.80.1. That is one whole address, unique address. Dot two, second, dot three, x so on up to dot 255. That's how it is. Okay. I hope I was able to answer it. Next, going back to this thing. Okay. Let's take again a short break. We have able to cover it. I think binary concept. I will again cover it, but I want to take a short break now for 10 minutes. We are half of the way of our class. Let's take maximum. Let's keep it 5 minutes actually. From now. So 2 minutes more. Let me just do 2 minutes more, and then 10:15 we're gonna take a short break off for 5 minutes. But I'll meanwhile cover this thing. So let's suppose you have how to drive a binary number out of it. Very, very simple concept. There are so many things you will understand. Like sometime now I understand if it is /30, what is the binary number and all those things. But yeah, for you, it's very simple. Everything is built into this concept. Okay. 2 is to power till 2 is to power 7 because there are 8 bits. So they start from 0 to 7. Okay. Remember there are 8. It doesn't start from 1 to 8. It starts from 0 to 7. Okay. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and everything start with 2 is to power. So the base is considered 2. When it is 2 is to power 0, it is 1. When it is 2 is to power 1, it is 2. Then it goes like 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. If you total it, it will be 256. Okay. That's how, or 255. I think, 256, but we consider 255 basically. That's how it is going to be. Now, if you consider it bit, it will be like 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. How it's going to be? I'm giving example here. Let's suppose you want to divide a 192 address into a binary. Okay. Then 192 to bring it, and again, I'm trying to keep it so simple that even a person from a 5 standard can understand it. Keep on dividing 192 by 2 until you don't get remainder 0. Simple. Okay. Got it? Give me a thumbs up if you understand this line. Okay. To get a binary number of any digit, keep it divided by 2 until you don't get remainder 0. Again, please do not do Oppo CS something. Please don't do the, again, I have to go back, annotation, screen people are writing. Okay, thank you very much for undoing it. If you do a mistake, always correct it. That is sincerity because we all can do a mistake. Okay, great. So yeah, keep dividing it from 2 until you don't get a remainder 0. So if you see 192 divided by 2 is 96, then 96 is a remainder, correct? Then 196 divided by 2, 48 is a remainder. Then 48 divided by 2 is 24. We keep on going until it is divided and the remainder is 0. And then we put this number from bottom to, like, from reverse to up in a number which becomes, so this will be a binary number of what? 192. So basically, what does it mean to say is it is going to only consider 2 is to power 7 plus 2 is to power 6, which is 1628, correct? When we do 2 is to power 7, it's going to be 128, and 2 is to power 6, which is 64. We add them together, that will be 192, correct? Because it is 0, 0, so it is considered as, like, false, and 1 is only considered as true. So there is a concept of true and false which comes into the place. Okay, so this is the simplest way to understand how to convert a binary number. Okay, this will help you to also do your subnetting and all those things, correct? Now we are on time. Let's take a break of 5 minutes. I am also gonna refill my water bottle. I will keep my video off for now, for just for the 5 minutes. So let's take it for 4 minutes. We are shortage of the time. So, and then we're gonna cover a few things, and then at the last, and we'll go more than if time permits. If you guys do not have any availability, if required, I can still stay a little bit more on this class to, you know, uh, answer your doubts. Okay. Let's be back on basically 10:18. No, not 10:18. Sorry, 10:20. Okay. I'm going to refill my water bottle and come back, guys. Thank you. I am back, guys. Are you guys all back? Let me see the chat. If you're back, let me just say. Okay, are you all in? Okay, some of them are there. Sashwat is there. Yogesh is there. Sangram is there. Good to see. Okay, Bimlesh is there. Okay, a lot of people are there. Okay, we never left. Okay, thank you for that, Raja. Okay, but it's good to consider a a break, water break and all. So it is advisable to do that. Yeah, it is good to also do a little bit move from here. Okay, let me start sharing again. Am I sharing? Okay, I will share again my screen, and then we gonna do it. Okay, and then go to the presentation mode again. I'm in presentation mode. Okay, I see the participant and I see everybody. Great. I have the same query. What has, if sir, if you can please tell us the difference between the class full and CICDR, CIDR. Okay, so basically, guys, everything will be definitely covered. But again, I'm really sure that Shruti and Manav, you guys have a curiosity to know much more better, what we are doing today. But again, I'm going to keep this class more on a orientation basis for the people who even does not know anything about CCNA, correct? Because we will cover this in the actual classes, because that will be my responsibility to make sure that everything, each and everything is covered. But again, to answer you guys one more thing, the terminology does not really matter. Okay, like people said, host client, CICDR, classless, classful, XYZ. This does not matter as long as you understand the basic concept. What does IP addressing is used for? How does it work? You know, how does the machine understand it, correct? And what is the real time usage example of these things? As long as you understand this thing, this will really, because nobody is going to ask you, okay, give me explanation or definition about CICDR. They would rather ask you, okay, if it is 192 slash dot this thing, what is the subnet of it, correct? If you use this much subnet, how much host we can drive out of it, correct? That's how you are requested generally, or asked in the questions. And again, my idea is not to just give you again the gyan which is already there in the books, correct? My idea is to give you the concept which will help you to get a job. Okay, because that is what is everybody's ultimately looking, the output, the crux of every course is to make you guys successful, to get you guys a better job, to help you guys perform better in interviews, maybe to help you guys prepare better for your next interview, whatever, correct? And then, or maybe to help you guys start a new job, to help you guys maybe do a skill pivot from a non-IT to tech, correct? And again, basically, so like somebody asked this question, correct? Like that, what is this? What was this? Somebody, let me just check the name, correct? Loop back something, name, let me check. I know the question. I need to see. Okay. Ram asked this question, correct? Like, what is this 127/28 loop back address? So basically, these addresses are reserved in the sense, like what happens is, like, again, I'll give you the explanation, but this could be overwhelming for other people. So what happens is, when we want to do a test, this is kind of a loop back is a kind of a test. It says a loop back, it is just going to be in a loop. When we want to do, a developer want to do any kind of test, okay, they use these IP addresses, because in that they will not be actually leaving that data. That data will never be leaving from system to outside, correct? We want to test those things. So there are a lot of things which people do. Developers do their own stuff, we do something, correct? Like for an example, if our Wi-Fi is not working, correct, we use this so many IP addresses, APIPA IP we call it, correct? They are all the what which tells you if your NIC card is working, not working. So there are things, correct? There are things, but is it really important, or is this the only important? No. What is the important? Always go back to the basic of life, or basic of any topic. IP addressing, understanding IP addressing, how does it work, is important. What is a loop back, how to use it and all will be required if you are actually going to the next level in your life, in your role, and all those things, correct? And again, it is good to have more and more information, but then don't overwhelm yourself with because in today's world there is so much of information available everywhere that it is going to be very much challenging for anybody. Okay, so yeah, so far so good. Everybody understood. conversion of binary, decimal, understood what is IP addressing, what is IPv4, who owns it, and all those things, correct? Can I do a quick check on it? Everybody? Just drop your message, thumbs up, thumbs down, XYZ, whatever, boring, yeah, whatever. Somebody said no, X is no. So let me know. You have any question, please do drop your message, no problem. We'll try to help you. Whatever you have just asked it, who said, I'm just considering this as the no, which is like, this cross on the screen. So that is, people who does not understand are most welcome to even ask question, because the idea is to make you guys, understand about. Okay? And again, one more thing, guys, like sometime don't think that we will understand everything at one go, correct? Sometime you might, or maybe most of the time you might. But the idea is, see, boring things are always helping us to be, successful. You keep repeating the boring stuff again and again, you become an expert of it. This is what not everybody is in this generation is able to understand. So maybe you don't understand something today, but you will understand something tomorrow, correct? So the idea is to start something. Okay. Sir, can you explain 10.0.0./28? What is it? What is this /28? Okay, /8. So, Sumit, just to answer you, as we said, /8 means in this concept, I'll take you back. I think, it's, yeah. So let's take this example. Okay, this will come into class A. So see, /8 means, so there are 4 octet, correct? You see here 0, 0, 0, 0, something like, consider it 1 octet, then 127, sorry, not this one, but I'll give you the IP address itself. Look, let's go back to this IP. Hold on. Yeah, this one. Consider it not. So this is for you, Sumit. Assume this is 10.0.0.0/8. Okay, don't see what you are seeing on the screen. What does that mean? For now, that means that 10 is going to be remain constant. It is a lane number. Anything beyond that can be changed depending upon the address of a user, Sumit, Ashish, XYZ. So 10 is always and always going to be same. So everybody in that lane, in that network, okay, is gonna be part of that lane number 10 or network number 10. Okay, that's what 8. 8 means only first octet 8, first 8 bits are reserved. That is used as lane number or your network. Everything else can change depending upon where does who lives, who has an address, what is their house number, XYZ, correct? It could be 10.0.0.1. That is one IP, first IP from your range which you have given me, correct? Then there could be 10.0.0.2. And then this has almost like how much, tens to power, like basically 8, and basically that's how basically the network is, and in that network there will be again remaining, which is 24. Basically, all those will be hosts. So there will be a n number of hosts which will be in this particular range which you've given me. Okay, I hope I was able to answer you, and then go back. Okay, we have understood this thing, and then again simple. So guys, what happened is, in between I'll tell you there are 2 ways to understand something. One is, if you are a guy who understands more from a logic concept, from logic perspective, correct? Then what you can do is you can understand this from the mathematical concept of it, any subject, any topic, correct? Or from a scientific point of view. But if you guy who understand more, who has more artistic nature of it, correct? Then they have to understand this from a overall, story point of view. And then as long as you connect all the dots together, your story will make sense basically. So they've built IPs, correct? They've built classes, they've defined the classes, they've built what is used for what is reserved for what, correct? But then they realize one thing, that if everybody is going to use a unique identity public address, we will be exhausted. So then they divided that range into private and public. So class A has a certain private addresses and certain public asset addresses. Same goes for class B and class C. Now, what does happen is, like, your private addresses will be unique to you, only known in your system. But from the outside, somebody will only use a public address, because see, internet, when it's public means on the internet, people can only communicate through public address. Okay, there's no concept of private IP. Private IP is only for our intranet, or our LAN side of it, or our a corporate side of it. If I give you the analogy, okay. For example, at your home you have a Wi-Fi, correct? Like you have your broadband, Airtel, whatever, correct? That box is everything for you. It is a switch, it is a router, it is a modem, it is everything for you, correct? That box is giving you one IP, okay, on your laptop, okay. That is going to be unique for you, correct? But in your organization, if there are 100 people, they all cannot have their separate public IP. They use private IP, and private IP's range can be used by anybody. For an example, house number 1 to 100 can be used by anybody across the world. But when they want to communicate to that particular thing, they have to come from a public IP, and then further it will be converted into a private IP depending upon who has raised the request. So that's the concept of netting comes in. But I'll just give you, it is just to keep it simple: local, private IP, public, internet is a public IP. Very, very simple. Got it? There is a range which is like class A has from 10 dot to like which is like 10 10 range, basically 10.0.0.2 10.255 okay. PPT again. Okay, PPT after session I'll share you guys, don't worry about it. Again, don't worry about housekeeping stuff. This will not really help you. Just think about the concept point for now, correct? Okay. Class B has again has 172.6.0.0 to 172.31.255.255. Again, you don't need to really memorize it. You need to understand why it is there, correct? As long as you remember the concept of private and public, even if you're not able to recall the range in an interview, he will not say, okay, I'm going to judge you based on it. You can clearly say, correct, that it's not coming on top of my mind, but I know why it is used, correct? So, but yeah, it is very simple to understand, but I'm just giving a gist of it, correct? So public and private, clear? Everybody? Okay. And then there is a concept of subnet mask. So as I said, somebody said, correct? So there are two ways to write it: CIDR and the subnet, okay? /8 is a CIDR range, and then like 255.0 dot. So this is what, guys, you know, uh, this question was again, Sumit. So you gave me a range which was 10.0.0.0/8, correct? That is from class A, which tells that 255 means only first 8 bits is reserved for network, everything else is host. So that's how it is considered. So it will be written as, if you want to write either, you can either write it two ways, correct? 10.0.0.0/8, or you can write 10.0.0.0 again space, and then you can write subnet mask 255.0.0.0. That we will see while do the practical exam. Where do we write it? We write it in in like routers, in switches. When we configure any host, we'll write it there. So that I'll tell you. But this is a concept: dividing /8 and slash 24/16/32, whatever, correct? This is the way to do it, correct? So that's how it is. So see, /8 is written like 255.0.0, /16 is written. Why it is written? Now you answer me. How many bits will be reserved? 16, correct? It says 16, correct? It tells you reserve the 16 bits. Okay, reserve the 16 bits. Somebody says, what is the range of IP address? Guys, I think, who was it? One plus node. So I have already covered it. I think, you need to maybe, you can watch the recorded session, and it was covered. What is the IP range? Where does it start from? And, which comes in class A, B, C, and what is the public versus private. So all those ranges are there mentioned. You can go back and check it, correct? Okay. Private versus public. Somebody said Pooja. Okay. Again, Pooja, let's not go too much into detail to that. Let's keep it very simple. There are public and private IPs. One, on the internet, anything leaving the intranet or LAN side of it will travel through an address which is a public IP. That's it. That will cover. Okay. From your like example, I'm giving you a very layman example. From your router or from your device, Airtel device, when you send something, it leaves from there to the, let's suppose, Pooja, you want to send something to me or to Sumit, you're writing an email XY. When it is leaving from your that router outside your network, it will use then the public IP to reach to the Sumit, and there it will reach to one side to this public IP to that public IP because it is all internet, and then inside it will use a a private IP range. That's how it is. Because when you see address, correct, show my address and all, you will see most of the addresses are from uh, private space, correct, and that could be even common for a lot of other people. But then system does the coverage. That is called netting, basically network address translation. That will cover later. But yeah, how it is. I hope I was able to give you the answer, Pooja. Okay. Subnet mask I covered, correct. /8, it says only reserve first 8-bit. CIDR we call it, correct. Somebody had a question about CIDR. This is the answer. What is a class A? What is a class A? And class full, classless is all about concept, a little bit of subnetting, but CIDR is a range basically, which tells you reserve first 8-bit for network. Okay. Class /16 says reserve first, like first two octet, or basically 8 bits. Okay, class 24 says reserve first three octets, or three, which is like 8 plus 8 plus 8, 24 CIDR value for the network. Okay, that's how it is. Again, don't complicate it, keep it simple. Going back to what is /12. Oh, yeah, exactly. That's a concept. Shruti. Very good question. That's the concept of subnetting. So then you divide it, correct? Like you again, when they say /12, that means 8-bit from the first octet and then remaining 4-bit from the second octet, and then you will do power how much? 2 is to power 12. That will be your network. So you will net cover it, correct? 2 is to power 12 is going to be your network or lane number. So anything comes in that network will be your basically uh, uh, fixed address. It could be /12, it could be /13, it could be slash. And now why it is needed, we'll cover in subnetting part, because if we just use the class full of IPs, you had a question, correct? Somebody had a question. Then it is going to exhaust it. We need to really do a CIDR or divide it or do a subnetting or do a variable length subnetting, basically VLSM concept, basically that is required for us to be able to use all the IPs properly, correct? Oh, you need to identify, because see, this is, you need to then remember it. This is the range. You got it, Pooja? This is the range. If anything coming from this range, this is a private IP. Okay. If anything coming, so you will see, you will generally have IP addresses from this range on your system whenever you go and check. Okay. Great. Let's go. Let's go. Further. Okay. So basically, we can do a practical packet tracer lab also on the IP addressing, but I want to really keep it little bit simple here. I'll now go back to quickly on something called OSI. So generally people cover OSI first, but I wanted to give you understanding of IP first, because if you understand the IP, then it will be very, very easy to understand the OSI. Okay. So OSI model is actually building block for your networking, a troubleshooting superpower, we consider it. So IP is how the design, how the IP work, what travels where, correct? OSI is if there is an issue, how to fix it, as long as you understand the OSI, correct? So that is what it is, the working part of it and then troubleshooting part of it, correct? So this is actually, as it says, correct? This is just not the theory. It is the troubleshooting superpower, honestly speaking, which is, animation to understand how data flows through all 7 layers, okay? Just like, a package delivery system, basically, like for an example, I'm sending a package to you, and then it will go from, somebody will come pick up from my house, go to, maybe it's a post office, then go to post office. From there it will travel to, through road, whatever, roadways, air, go to somebody else, then again a peon will deliver it, like that, correct? And let me just ask, so there is something called encryption, correct? That happens on presentation layer. I'm just giving this call out because, so that you guys in the time when I'm teaching you this layer, you understand, okay, why does the present the encryption happen on the presentation layer. But before that, let's understand all the layers. Okay, let's go one by one. I hope it is visible to you. Like the picture is not small. OSI model, you see this, correct? I see it. Let me just check one more thing. Okay, yes, visible. Okay, so let's, very good. Thank you for answering, Shruti. Okay, so let's come back here. Okay. So real world application. So again, we can understand OSI. Okay, this is 7-layer physical, then transport, session, presentation, all those things, correct? Like, but then I'll tell you one thing. Again, sorry, it is the slide just says presentation, but yeah, I'll tell you one thing. It is now covered this way, but this is actually physical transport, sorry, physical layer, then the Ethernet, or we call data link, then there is a network transport, and then session presentation and application. Okay. Sorry for the glitch here, but I think this just wanted to give you cover this thing, why it is saying like this, But yeah, for now, I'll change it and let you guys know before I send it to you. I did not really, check onto this part, but yeah. Uh, so basically the 7 layers, why it is required is a question, correct? Like why the layer approach? Because it dictates the standard for anybody in this world. I'll give you a real example. Like at the physical layer, correct? Which you guys see right now, wherever you are. You have a, mobile, you might be using a laptop, correct? What is the operating system to be used, correct? What is the cable we are going to use, correct? What is the device, the hard tangible device we are going to use? Okay, there has to be like for an example, very layman example, you cannot see this presentation using a microwave, correct? Or you cannot see this presentation using a TV, correct? This presentation, as long as it's not IPTV, but yeah, you cannot see, correct? uh, so that is the way the physical layer defines how the network will operate at a physical layer. Okay, simple. Anybody? For an example, recently government of India, or like, government is trying to make all the ports standard. Like earlier we had what? 3.5 jack, we had, USB port, then 30 USB, then, this thing, type C. Some people even have, the other old kind of, cables, but now government is trying to give everything type C. So if you see the new laptops will mostly and only cover with, come with type C ports basically, because then every module, like the ear headphone which I'm connected to, correct? Maybe the mouse you will connect in future, correct? They will all have to design their hardware from the Type C perspective. It makes life easier. Now, our government, and we are blessed to be in a, generation of people, like, generation where, people are trying to now improve. We have already lived the, life where we were learning. Now we are improving a lot of things, correct? So they are trying to improve this thing to make life easier for us, correct? So that's what the physical layer will tell, correct? Then there is a data link layer. We call it layer 2, basically, where all the routers and switches will come into the picture. Okay. Not the router and switches. I'm sorry. All the switches will come into hub. Hub used to be there earlier, but now there is no concept of hub. They've gone back. But yeah, all the switch which will come there, it will tell how from physical. And again, physical layer has conversion into 0 1 binary. Okay, signals will be provided through a cable. You are sending signals, correct? Those signals are converted into 0 1. Okay, then they are converted back into the data link layer, which is, on a frame size, correct? Then basically that is converted. That's how the data link layer will understand. Okay, and then it will dictate what all, who all can communicate. Okay, then there is a concept of VLAN, there is a concept of trunking, there is a concept of switching that comes into the picture here, correct? I'm just trying to, again, this is to dictate at layer 2. Again, everything is built to make sure to dictate how people will communicate, correct? Like for an example, you cannot really communicate, as I give you example, using a microwave to a TV to a, this thing. They're all physical, correct? I'm trying to give example from the real time world, correct? But that's how it is basically. So then data, and then you have, your network layer, which is basically a layer 3, generally we call it, which is like, your this thing, routers and all those things comes in. Then transport layer, which is IP, basically dictates like, how the packet will travel, and then there is a session which maintain the session, which we are seeing right now, correct? Somebody is maintaining the session, correct? You are able to see this session. If you drop it, as long as the session is there, you will join back, correct? That session will be terminated, the new session will be on, correct? And then the presentation, how the data is being seen, correct? You are seeing my picture, you're seeing something, correct? This is encrypted, where is the, you know encryption and decryption of things happen, correct? That's what I was giving that example. And then the application, the mode, the Android app, the Zoom app, correct? All kind of thing you are using, maybe somebody's using from the web. So that is what it is, correct? So theoretical versus real time, again, let's keep it this way. If there is a cable unplug, correct, this immediately points layer 1. Very simple. Anything related to physical thing, anything here, router burn, device, burn, port maybe faulty, cable faulty, cable cut, anything, correct? That is your L1. Not getting, like for an example, correct? Again, give you the analogy of your this thing, router, which is Airtel or any XYZ provider. As long as there's no light, correct? This is a simple physical issue, correct? So that's how it is. As long as there's a power light, but there's no other light, there is still a physical issue, correct? So then there are other things to see it into, correct? You have a light, but you cannot ping. This is going to be issue which is suggests layer 1 or layer 1 to layer 4 are functional, but then maybe at the DNS level or other level, which is some issues are there, which is basically a layer 7 issue. If you're not able, like you can ping 8.8.8, which is Google. You got it? Not just ping your IP, correct? Ping the internet, which is 8.8.8, which is a Google. You're able to ping Google, but somehow when you're going to your page, it is not showing anything, correct? Then there is something related layer 7 issue. Maybe the DNS is misplaced, or maybe something like that, correct? It could be anything. And then there could be several security issues, which is generally between layer 6 to layer 7. Generally that time a lot of security issue happens from the user's point of view, but from network engineer's point of view, security start well from layer 1. Okay, it is not just the application or presentation layer, but from the layer 1, correct? That is what security start from, basically. Great. Great. So I think let me just go back to next one. So as I say, see, yeah, this has a better view for you guys. So for all the 7 layers, layer 1, physical, data, network, transport, session, presentation. So if you see, I gave you correct. All the layer 1 transmit raw bits over a physical media like cables and Wi-Fi, correct? Devices, hubs, repeaters, cables, XYZ, all those are all the tangible stuff which you can touch is part of physical layer, correct? Layer 1. Okay. Protocol, generally no protocol, it's more about the standards. So there is no protocol which generally we do it, but the physical signaling, if you want to really consider something protocol, consider it 0 1 0 1 0 1, correct? Protocol is nothing, by the way. Okay, protocol is to tell something how you should go from one place to another, or define a rules, or regulations, something which is tells you, like you can build your own protocol, correct? You built your own protocol, like from Kormangala to Indranagar, I will only go from using this, outer ring road, correct? That is your protocol. You followed, that's how it is. But then there is a standard protocol which BMTC will follow, correct? Or any company like, DTDC, or maybe any transport, they will always follow their route. A train will always follow their route because that is a systematic protocol given to them. What is your protocol to operate anything, correct? So yeah. And then data link manages, frame transmission. It also detects errors, and it's called, MAC addressing, which gives you the hardware. It reads the hardware address for you, correct? That is basically when we travel a packet from one to another site, 2 addresses are critical, important. One is the IP address, second is the MAC address. As long as these tools are there available, you will be able to communicate. If it is not, anything is missing, you will not be able to, correct? And then switches, devices like switches comes into their network interface card, a part of it, all those things. And then protocol is like Ethernet and ARP, and then there are like POS and all those things which is there. Layer 3, again, as I was talking about, correct, handles the logical IP addressing, and then routers, layer 3 switches, firewall, lot of things comes into that layer 3, correct? Protocol, again, IP, ICMP, OSPF, routing protocol is OSPF, BGP, IGRP, all those things comes into the picture. We'll cover that later, correct? And then transport layer, protocol, TCP, UDP, everything burns down into reliable, non-reliable. Transport layer detect which thing has to be used using the TCP, like more secure, more acknowledging, or if it is not important, use the UDP. That's how we decide. Like for an example, if I am sending you very critical data, it has to be using TCP. But if I'm right now talking to you, correct, this medium is a UDP, like this video call, audio call is UDP. Because if data is dropped, okay, if somebody's talking something else, something eavesdropping, something listening is correct, still you want to repeat it, you want to clarify it, I can still do it, correct? So that's how it is basically. Again, they call it firewall, load balancer. Yeah, they come into there, but firewall again also works on layer 3. Even load balancer also works on layer 3. But yeah, transport, even router does. So, just hack of it, understand that firewall is a device. Not everywhere there will be devices. Establish, manages, and transmit session layer. As I said, it maintains the session, it transfers the sessions from one side to another, and all those things, correct? And protocol, yeah, NetBIOS, RPC, there are protocols which is used in the session layers basically that helps to transfer that, that session to you, that maintain that session for you, correct? And then the presentation, which is again SSL and TLS we use, like like we use HTTPS, like your SSL, HTTPS has SSL built into it that tells you presentation, that keeps your session very secure. It makes sure that the session is not hijacked and all those things, correct? So encryption happen how, like for an example, you see JPG images, correct? You see PNG images, that is all encryption, correct? If somebody says PNG, it's an image, correct? Let's convert it that way. It is not a text, correct? It's not a TXT. So those things happen on presentation. Application layer, as I said, correct? Every app, whatever we use through HTTP, we access a file through FTP, we send a message through SMTP, or the DHCP, the IP assignment which happen, correct? That is happen on the application layer. So these protocols work, on those layers basically. Okay, as I said, interact directly with software and end user. That's what is your application layer do. Now hands-on, we came back again to the hands-on. We might not have time for hands-on. We can do, but I'll tell you. Idea is keeping very simple. To answer you guys, you just need one thing, which is called packet tracer. Okay, I will try to bring this up. Okay, go down, not the stop share. Where is the presentation mode? Um, not the pause, stop, slideshow control. Hold on, guys. Okay, the video. Okay, hold on. Do I have full control? Let me just go back. Okay, laser. Okay, we are there. Okay, showing all slides. I'm going to bring something for you guys, which is, yeah. I'm trying to bring packet tracer for you guys. Okay, let me know if you see the packet tracer. So CCNA, you don't need actually any hard devices. Okay, gone are the days. In fact, for anything, you can do it on Cisco packet tracer. You guys see my screen? You see the packet tracer? Great. Guys, this is your friend to do the hands-on when you're doing CCNA. In fact, a lot of complicated stuff can still be done through the packet tracer. For that, you need to be well versed with packet tracer. This is provided by Cisco. Thank you to them. Earlier, everybody was required to have a whole setup of, router, switches, a rack, and all those things. But with the time, even in your job, everything is going software defined. So you need to be well versed with how the network works on the software defined environment. Okay. You will not be, as an engineer, I have in my life never gone to a site, as long as you're not on-site engineer, like who carries the devices and do it. I have been always sitting on remote and doing configuration, doing everything from remote. So it is very, so what happened is, actually I'll tell you the story. When I did CCI, that time everything was rack, and I was always, wondered, fascinated by how this thing will happen and all that, correct? But then when I went to the real job, I realized I am not seeing the devices at all. So that, kind of, adaptability took time, to understand that, okay, it takes time for me to go from, a physical, a tangible stuff to non-tangible stuff. And everything IT is working mostly on non-tangible stuff, correct? So yeah, this will help you. We can just do simple things, like, I'm just giving you example. You can bring routers, as many as routers. You can bring switches, you can bring connections, like, you connect from this to, okay, it's still booting up. It takes a little bit time. Okay. Let's see. Let them boot. Okay, boot it up. Let's see. Okay, until it is finished. Okay, it takes time. Little bit. It's still booting. You see, this is the exact way. And good, we are seeing this. This is the exact way a Cisco router will boot. Actual prompt of a Cisco router. Okay. Like when you log in, you will log in using a terminal. Terminal is just nothing for you to access the router. Okay, you will not just go inside the router, correct? You need something, a software version of thing that is called terminal. Okay, that could be PuTTY, that could be super PuTTY, that could be secure CRT, that could be anything, correct? It is as simple as to accessing a file, you need a file explorer, correct? You cannot just open a file from anywhere, correct? So these are the terminal, correct? Initial config, no, correct. And this is started, okay, this is router, correct? So if I want to do it from here, okay, this is done. Let me just take one connection, hypothetic. I'm gonna connect this to this. Simple. Got it, guys? We're gonna do a lot of hands-on like this, giving you every chapter will have a hands-on. Like I did IP and OSI, I'm going to give you a little hands-on of this right now, which is very simple way. This is the OSI layer we follow. We have taken one cable, correct? That is standard. That cable is connecting from this port to this port. That is standard. I am not breaking that cable and taking a different cable. I am following the OSI layer protocol, OSI layer, dictation that how one router to another router should be connected, correct? Then physical is done. Now I will go inside. I can do one thing. I can go to the, I can do like, first thing is enable. Okay, forget about this thing. We'll talk about this. What is enable? Correct. Some commands like show IP, alt brief. So since we have only learned IP, correct? This router is just blank. This is for you as now as just a blank box, does not have anything, correct? It needs a IP address. It needs IP address to communicate with one router to another, correct? And we can see, like for an example, gigabit 000, that's a port number, correct? That does not have IP. I'm going to there, I'm into gig 0000 by 000. Yeah, correct. Privilege access, correct. We will learn it also. I'm going now. What I'm going to do is, so guys, see. Let me just take it this way. Okay. Let me just, okay. This port needs an address. This port needs the address to be able to send packet from here to here. What I'm going to do is right now, I'm going to give address to this port. That's what I was doing. I'm going here. I'm going here. I have gone to the interface level. If you see, there are some levels called, privilege access, then config, and then this thing. We'll learn it. Don't get complicated. I'm just giving you IP address. Like suppose 10 dot 0 dot, sorry, 1 dot 1 dot 1 example, correct? And then 255, I can give anything, 255 dot 0 example. I'm just giving. This is the IP set. Now, if I show you guys, you see, show IP interface brief did not have anything, correct? Now show IP interface brief. These are command you will learn. Now this has a IP. Everybody see it, correct? Give yes, no, hi, hello, whatever, correct? Now same I'm going to do. Okay, same I am going to do on the other router, which is here. Again, what is the port connected? I'm going to take it this way. Let's take it this way. Hold on. Where is it? Yeah, I'm going to, so gig 00 again, gig 000 is connected. I'm going to go here. Yeah, we are doing, can we do this IP assigning manual? We are doing manually, correct? This is manual work. This is a manual. You don't technically, that's why the CCNA has IP, this thing, programs and programming using automation. So that is why they are trying to be, because world is going totally different, Now this addressing, oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I did wrong. See, now this thought it's a command. This because I need to go to user execution mode and privilege mode basically, and then enable mode we call it, and then go to the config T. So it says it is taking this as a command. So it's trying to convert this. Is it a command? It's trying to convert something, correct? But it's not. It will be. I need to do either Control C or Control Z or something, which will happen, or it will take time. Let it come. Yeah, this is the manual. Like typing yourself is a manual, Shruti. This is the way actually. This is called manual thing, It's going to take some time, because almost end of our presentation, trying to keep time also in sync. But yeah, I'll just show you how the IP and OSI worked. It's a kind of real lab for you guys, in a way. Yeah, correct. We came back. I'm going to enable mode, config T, and they see. Okay, it did ask config. So now I can do show IP int brief. Okay, just a sec. Somebody was calling me. Just a sec, Give me 1 second, guys. Was it important? Not important. Okay, hold on. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is brief. I did so show IP int brief. Okay, this is one. There's no IP, correct? I'm going to go into the interface level. Okay, every time what you want to do, you need to go to that level, and I'm going to give a IP. Okay, again, IP address, I'm going to keep it 10.1.1.2, and then 255.255.255.0. Now, guys, this is very critical. I could have not used 10 dot instead 10 like 20 dot something. It has to be part of same network, because if I see, I gave you example analogy of, correct? I gave you example analogy of the lane number. They both host are part of same lane. They have to be from the same network. It cannot be from a different network. Okay, so I'm gonna do is show IP INT brief. Okay, this is this thing. And oh, sorry, I forgot to shut down. So again, we need to bring every interface up. Oh shut. Okay, exit, exit show IP INT brief. Okay, brief. Okay, this is what it. So this port is up, and then I need to bring this thing also, which is config t int gigs 10000. And guys, I'll make it so easy for you that you understand. Like you might think it is complicated right now, but it will not be. Okay. Okay, great. You see, guys, the link has gone green. It was red, correct? Everybody? Yeah, it is gigabit, gig. It took gig itself, generally. I would have changed the cable. It could have taken, like it's a copper cable. You can use any cable, like, whatever you want, not whatever, but you can use different cables. When I say right now, it is taking, this router, the router which I took, it has only gigabit, connect to it. We can even do a Ethernet, that also we can do. If I click here, like for an example, this is a CLI. If I go to the physical one, I could have changed the module as well, but I don't want to really go there. So this is what, correct? Now these two ports are, sorry, these two ports are there, correct? Now, can I really communicate with one to another? You don't need anything else as long as you're part of same network. So I can do one thing, ping 10.1.1.1. That is my address right now, correct? So I can ping myself. Can I ping my friend? Correct. I can ping my friend, correct? So same way this is. So this is a way to give you example how the OSI is playing, here, correct? How the IP is playing here. What is the, like, what is the relation, what you have learned in theoretical, how actually practically it happens in the CCNA world, correct? Okay, going back to this thing, I'm gonna bring this thing down. I'm gonna bring my presentation up now again, and let's go to the presentation mode. You guys see my presentation mode, correct? Do you? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay. You guys are able to now see it, correct? Questions? Okay. Okay, somebody had a question. Manually, yes. So DHCP, no. So to answer, Hilal, and to answer, Shruti from that concept, DHCP, definitely it does play a role, but not everything happens through the DHCP. So DHCP is only used to assign IPs to the hosts, which is like, the users, whoever is connecting, they will get a automatic IP assignment. But as a network engineer, you will need to define addresses on the routers and the switches. So that's why the manual IPs are rated. It's not like you connect something and everybody will get IP. No, that doesn't happen, because there is a IP addressing schema which will be used for you as a network engineer. You need to oblige it and understand it, and then start designing. Designing will not come to you, but mostly implementing that as per the design has been asked. So if design says, like for an example, you see here, I'm trying to give you the brief. If design says router so and so, router 1 at this site has 10.1.1.1 as its address, it has to be as it is. It cannot be assigned through a DHCP. You can do these things automatically. So there are three ways of it, correct? Assignment on IP through DHCP is only for host. We need to configure everything manually. But to help us, because there are large networks, scalable, we need to make it more scalable. The automation has come into the picture. Which is called, how to kind of, you run one script. Okay, you predefine everything in that script. It will go all the outer site 1, site 2, site 3, and it will just assign the IP. Great. I am glad I was able to help you guys. So far, everyone understand, you're happy, not happy, boring, whatever, please give me your feedback. I'm going to go to next slide quickly. I have, sir, how the session ID works. Please explain. We will, again, a lot to ask, session IDs, how the TCP happen, what is the session ID and all those things. I think let's keep it, simple to IP and OSI for today. We're gonna cover everything later. And because we are not going to learn everything today, correct? It is a process. So success stories real time. I don't really keep something else. My wife, housemaker, I married in 2012 till 2020, like 18, 19, like 18 or 19, 20, in fact, till 2020, like almost for 8 years. Okay, she decided, or we decided that she's going to be housemaker. We're going to make our family better. So she was there. She was never IT background. She's a pass out from DU, political science background. She was a teacher earlier. Then she decided she has the urge to come into the IT. And was it networking altogether? No, I told her very simple thing. Okay, do one thing, go to internet, find out what suits you. And then she thought, okay, digital marketing is good suit for her. She started preparing for it. She prepared for Google and all those things. But then she lost her interest. And then one day she all of a sudden said, no, I want to be a network engineer. So I actually helped her to live her dream and not just hack of it. It meant it because it meant for me as a family. Okay, it meant for her as an individual, but it meant for me for my family, correct, in terms of getting a better work-life balance because she's working from home permanently, and getting a family life, better family life, and definitely monetary is a byproduct of it, correct. So I was able to help her. She's a CCNA working as a senior network engineer, company called Caltech, and she is doing tremendously well. Again, she came from a very less baggage. That's why she was able to do it. My brother, other side, he is a 15 years of experience, always working with banking and back process. And he realized that it is not everlasting sustainable for him. So, and again, salary packages are pretty low there. So he was able to transit, like last year in August, he was able to transit from back office to this, IT. And I have actually helped them personally at my level. Okay. Then another story from one of my friend Vivek, who's into PayPal. He's not a part of a CCNA or anything, but he has been continuously in consistent touch with me. Very, very close friend of mine, because he wanted to break through from retail branch banking as a RBL to the this thing, to the uh, networking. Sorry, not the networking, but the IT. So I suggested him that fintech would be suitable. So still me on. So what I'm trying to tell you is, it's not only CCNA which is fitting. It could be something else, correct? But you need somebody to help you with those things, correct? You need somebody. It could be me, institution, a coach, your brother, cousin, somebody who really is able to understand, who has lived this thing, who has lived this transition, correct? So some success story here from my side. There are many. Then my office is like I keep on. When I say 100 plus, actually I've done 100 plus. A lot of apprentice come, correct? I have one of my reportee. She I had from a college. She worked very well for me. I gave her promotion, and finally she took a master's. She went to Europe. She got a scholarship and all. There are so many other small. Some are touched for a longer time. Some are maybe 1 2 sessions helping them. Correct. Maybe not everybody one of you will be part of my student group. Correct. But my idea is to give you the whole crux and essence of it. Okay, foolproof your career with AI. So this is what I can do. When I say actually only I meant is because I know how the AI is going, how AI is driving the network, how AI is driving the security, correct? How AI is driving. I have been a master's into this thing, so I can really help you even that direction. Not like make you expert, but give you just how the network engineers of a new companies, new age companies are working. What are they thinking? Correct. What is the network meant for AI? Correct. Because everything, if you see, we are moving towards the AI. Correct. So your network has to be compatible for that. Correct. Your security has to be compatible for. It has to make sure that it is taking care of all the issues which is there in AI world. Correct. So this is what I can do because this is what my skill, which I've learned past 2 3 years of time, and I am using this, in my day-to-day life. So I can really future-proof you. You will not be insecure in terms of AI is taking all the jobs and all. So yeah, that's what we can do. This is a topic we're gonna do lot into this. Very simple. divided into the CCN exam is divided into 5-6 modules. Basically, networking fundamentals like TCP/IP, IP OSI layer. How does the IP v4, v6, all those things work? What are the physical layer topology XYZ? Network access, which is like again layer 2, which is VLAN, trunking, spanning tree protocol, wireless LAN setup, and all those things. IP connectivity, which is again static IP, routing, routers, all those things, correct? And then IP services, how the netting works on top of it. What is the DNS, what is NTP, how to secure access to a client, a laptop, or a router or anything, correct? And then everything security. How do we secure the network, correct? Very, very critical. And at last, to make our life easier as a network engineer, how the automation and programmability will come into the picture. This is what the crux of CCNA is. So if you see, everything is pulled beautifully in a story. Somebody started a story from a IP. They realize IP is not enough. We need to bring classes, correct? Then they realize even in classes, we need to define what will go outside, what will go inside, correct? Then they also realize we need to bring, my voice is getting low in the end sentence. Okay. Anybody else? Can you guys say yes? Hi, am I audible? Thank you for the check, Zabi. But let me check with other people as well. Is it okay, Zabi? Like my modulation, my voice is good? Okay, right. So I was saying that everything is actually built on a story. I think if you try to run something from a story point of view, I think you'll be able to relate everything together. Don't connect everything, every dot at the beginning. Don't say, oh man, I know this thing, but how would they do it? Learn. With the time you will start. All the script will connect, all the pages will connect to your story, and that story will make sense, whether it is about your life or whether it is about CCNA. So that's how the story, somebody created IP. They realize, okay, not the IP is enough. Let's create classes, define the classes. Then they realize maybe the public and versus, private has to be there. Then they realize, okay, even that will make, that will be tougher. We need to really, it will exhaust all the IP. Let's bring subnetting. Then they said, okay, subnetting is just basic class full of it. Let's do CIDR or like VLSM, which is like variable length subnetting, basically, management, basically they do it, which is like, breaking 13/13/21/31, like that example, breaking the network into the, other smaller networks, basically. That's how they brought it up. And then somebody thought, okay, we did everything, but what about security? Like people can go, come and see what is doing, what I am doing, what is anybody doing, correct? They can do. So security is most critical aspect of anything right now in this world. Okay. And then they realize, okay, security we built IT, everything is there. Network is running fine and all, but with the time, networks are becoming large, large and large, and we cannot really dependent upon human brain, these manual skills and all. So they brought into automation part of it. So CCNA can be really great for you in terms of you want to be a security engineer, if you want to be a cybersecurity engineer, if you want to be a network automation engineer, if you want to be a DevOps, is this is a building blocks. If you are able to do it well, I think you will be able to do a lot of other things much better. So that's how about this thing. We will learn this, and at last, basically, try to take a step, learn, accelerate your career, learn from a leader, like, from somebody who's already still part of, the actual world, how the things learn. And then let's do practical hands-on real world skills. I'm not just going to give you this is router, that ping, this, that. I will try to bring incorporate scenarios which I see every day in day office, so that it gives you more closer view of, how the actual IT work. If you go to the interviewer, ask you one thing, okay, tell me one thing, I see that the ports are up, but I'm not able to ping one IP to another. Correct. You are able to relate to that. Correct. You're not going with this concept of, oh, in CCNA I learned this, and what could be the answer. Correct. So that is what it is all about. That brings end to my presentation for the day. I am going to unmute all of you. If you have any questions, feel free. Any feedback, feel free to ask us here. Okay. And I'm unmuting. Anybody? You can connect me through SIEMXPERT. I am partner with them, for now, like in terms of delivering these sessions, there'll be mode of operandi will be SIEMXPERT. Sulabh, a great guy, because I'll tell you, like, he is the one who is kind of prompting me to give back to the society, because what he's doing is actually was creating the value and this thing. So that's what you can be in touch with anybody in SIEM Expert. Mahima, Sulabh directly know him, but you can get in touch. But by the way, my LinkedIn, you guys got the banner? Did you guys get banner? Okay, I don't know if you can. Let me just see. Unmute all. Forget about it. But if you get the banner, there is my LinkedIn profile. You can scan it. You can use the link. If not, let me just check if I can share that banner. No, here not. I can attach it, but I'll share it. Don't worry. My LinkedIn profile and everything. If you want to get in touch professionally with me, but from course point of view, you can definitely get in touch with somebody in SIEM Expert, and they can help you with this. Anybody of you, please. Any question, guys? Lenovo says, okay. Sir, can you suggest CCNA book in easy language for me? Mm, so I'll start with the same thought. There's nothing easy. Don't make it complicated. Take it any book, start reading it. You don't like it, first 2, 3 pages, take another book, correct? Um, uh, Go to internet, correct? Go to ChatGPT, correct? For an example, if you want to learn some topic, take a book, example. Okay, Todd Lamley, take a book, start reading it. You learn something, one page, another page you're not able to understand, ask it, correct? Discuss with your group. That's the best way to learn it. Okay, you think book itself is a crap, change it, correct? You have all the options. Can't able to unmute. Okay, let me just do one thing, mute all, and then I will allow participant to unmute. Okay, check now. Vaibhav.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, Vaibhav, hello.
I just
So I
wanted
have
to
a
ask, like,
Okay,
yeah, I just wanted to ask, like, how long is the duration for this course? Like, is it 2 months or 3 months?
so see, I'll tell you, to make you ready for the exam would be 3 months,
Mhm.
but the course would be delivered in 60 days. Like what? Because it's not just you deliver the course and you are going to. Why I'm taking 3 months is it depends upon you, correct? Individual. If you are really sincere, you can very well do 2 months are good enough. 60 days are really, really good enough for any average person to complete the CCNA, correct? But then again, let's take a buffer for you guys from the way of CCNA certification point of view. But market ready, 2 months. Good enough.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome, Raja. Vaibhav also had something, correct?
Yes, I have one question. Can you just tell me in short what is the difference between unicast and multicast trafficking? As unicast in one-to-one request will be shared, request served separately, but in multicast,
So
how it will be
multicast
traveled?
is, okay, let me just tell you one thing. See, the IPs are used in a way like part of a one pool group. So for an example, right now what I'm doing is what? It is a multicast, correct? Only some set of people from SIEM Expert have joined this class, correct? I'm not doing a unique YouTube live, correct? Where anybody can come and join, correct? So that would be then a broadcast. Right now, you guys are part of this multicast. So for an example, you as an individual, Saurabh, okay, you want to, you know, send some particular information in your group, okay, but in that group you only want your male friends to know this, correct? So you will just send that message. That is a clear concept of multicast, correct? It's not broadcast that way. And then unicast is to one particular friend, you want to basically, one person you want to send, that is a unicast basically that you so this is the real
Okay, but
example.
okay, but sir, for example, from my server is attached to switch, and from that switch is traffic is serving. So if
Correct.
multiple servers are requesting for that multicast request, it will publish on that switch, and the switch will serve to the other network, or it will
Yeah,
come to
switch.
every.
No, switch will serve, and again the VLAN concept comes in, correct? So it depends upon, so see, when it is about server, okay, that server will be accessed by somebody, correct? Like server will not just send a request, correct? It will be, everything will be through a client. The initial client will be doing a request, correct? It could be anything, a DNS server, a DHCP server, or a host server, like a file server or anything, correct? So the request will be generated by that client. Now let's suppose somebody is trying to deliver it to one side, like for example, as an admin, I want to deliver some message to one particular group of people. Then I will generate that particular request in a multicast way, and considering that multicast IPs, whatever is part of it, and then it will go to the switch. Switch will decide also in that group, like as per the VLAN concept, like where it will go and all those things. So we will see when we see the actual real time scenario use case of it, you will be able to understand it much better way. For now, I want to keep it also simple for, as I said, my idea is to keep it simple for a lot of our friends here who maybe does not know or well versed with anything about IP. But we can when we do the classes, we'll cover everything in detail. Don't worry.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anybody here who has any other question? Kangana said, "Can you unmute us?" Okay, Kangana, yeah, you are now unmuted. If you have anything, please feel free to ask. Or anybody for that matter. We will just wait for another, like, it's already 20 minutes above our time. Time just flight. But yeah, anybody has anything, I can stay for another 5 minutes. And if not, we can consider this session as, concluded. Any question, anything on the personal side, your struggles, anything, even not related to CCNA, anything you can pitch up. How much is the cost for CCNA classes? So that will be, let you know by SIEMXPERT, like what is the cost and all those things. We just wanted to today give you that awareness of it, and make you understand, like, how useful CCNA can be for you. Saroj said, when can class be started? Pretty soon. Not yet decided. I need to also see, because, as I said, I have a daytime job and I have other assignment as well. I need to see my overall availability, and I need to see availability from students. So when that meets, we will start. But we are trying to start it, as soon as possible, because we don't want to really delay the journey of anybody to get into the IT. And I really don't. I'm excited to help a lot of people, in a way.
Sir, I got a couple of questions, but I wanted to ask you personally. Is there any possibility to have a 5 minutes of
Do one
session?
thing. Not maybe over the phone. Do one thing. Is it okay? You do it through Mahima or somebody. Let them be channel, correct? If it is not really personal, like, a personal stuff, nobody wants to do it, write me on LinkedIn then. Otherwise, do one thing. Get in touch with through Mahima. Ask her to just pass that questions to me, and we will try. Or do one thing. Maybe stay here for a little long, and maybe we will complete after everybody drops. I can give you
Sure,
full
sir.
payments. Okay. Whether it will be weekdays or weekend, depend upon Webhub availability from students and myself. We will, if weekend is more feasible, we'll try to be weekdays. Sorry, weekends. If weekdays are feasible, we'll try to be, because see, I generally start around 1. That's what my start time is around. So before that, I do have a time. But then it depends if you guys are working, college going, doing something else. So we'll see. We'll try to accommodate everything for everyone, so that it is, beneficial for everybody. Okay, great. Anything else, guys? If not, you can drop, and I think only who has a question. It was who wanted to talk to me.
It was me, sir, Raja.
Raja, yeah, Raja, yeah. So Raja can only stay for some time, and then everybody else can drop. You are great, for the day. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much for the energy, and it will be my pleasure to help anybody, one by one, in their life. Thank you. Okay. 25, 24 people are dropping. I will again say thank you for your participation. Guys, you all can drop now. You all can drop. Okay, I'm going to stop the sharing, and I'm going to stop the recording. Stop the share. And where's this? End the recording. No, not the meeting was. I hope the meeting was recording. And we're going to do is stop the recording.